Okay, so I am really excited because today I got fabric to make a dress inspired by the Bridgerton character named Penelope Featherington. So far, she is my favorite character in the series, and this is what we got. It's so pretty. This stuff was expensive, but it's like really perfect for, in comparison to about 3 of the dresses that she wore in season 1. With pink and blue. But this embroidered mesh is so pretty. So basically the base of the dress is going to be made with this. I'm pretty sure it's like a polyester, it's like a polyester satin. I'm pretty sure there's no natural fiber in this, but it was about $7 to $8 a yard. I didn't want to get a more expensive satin. I just went with this. The color was close enough that I'd be happy with it. And then, like, this is the main showstopper of the dress. It is such pretty fabric, and I'm so excited to cut into this soon. But the pattern for a Drindle dress is remarkably similar to what one would use for a Regency dress. I looked at diagrams of Regency dresses, and it looks like pretty similar. Now, I traced out the pattern pieces from this pattern because I honestly just tested it last week. But yeah, so I did raise the neckline and then I rounded it out so it'll give me a little bit more coverage, so it'll look closer like the dresses in Bridgerton that Penelope wore. And I'm actually this is cut on an angle so that the at the underbust it's taken in at the side seams, but I think I'm actually going to cut it to where it's straight because the dresses in Bridgerton have darts at the bust line under the bust. So I will add this back in, and then that fabric will come back out from here by using 2 darts. So one on each side for under the bust section. So this is the pattern I'm going to use. So I'll start out by cutting into the poly satin, and then I'll be able to cut it again and use the pretty fabric. Now this fabric was really expensive. It was, I think it was $25 a yard. But there was a 50% coupon that I think did work on it. So it actually ended up being like $15 a yard, which isn't too bad, but we still spend a lot of money. But I got 4 yards of this. I'm hoping it'll be enough. And then I got 5 yards of the blue satin. With coupons and stuff, we ended up spending like $120. But I also got some new thread because there was a deal for if you buy 3 spools of thread, you get 2 free. And then I also got a zipper for this dress. I'm not going to use a historically accurate closing method because 1, this is easier, and 2, Bridgerton is not historically accurate. It has a lot of modern influences, so I'm just going to make it easy to get in and out of by using a zipper, and it matches the blues. It's pretty. So this is what I'm going to use, and I also got blue thread and pink thread, and then 1 black thread because you could never have too much black and white thread. So we got that. I did forget to get a pink satin ribbon that will go around the underbust part underneath as a little bit of contrast, and also they use that in the actual show on several of her dresses, just the waistband underneath of like a satin ribbon. So I'll be getting that in a light pink to try to match this pink because I think it'll contrast a little bit more than if I did blue because the lining is blue, so it'll even out. Yeah, so I'm gonna get started on cutting some fabric out. So I finished cutting out the base layer of the dress bodice, and I added plenty of room for the zipper. I just wanted to make sure there was enough fabric to turn in for the edge so that a zipper can be put in easily. So these are what the pattern pieces look like, and I will be taking under here in with darts for shaping. Oh yeah, so one interesting thing that I forgot to point out earlier was this is like a fleece or felt back satin. So it kind of has, I don't know, I'm hoping it adds a little bit of structure to it maybe? I don't know. But anyways, what I just did was I did some bust darts that I am about to sew, and I might add 2 more next to those because a lot of the dresses had 2 darts at the bust actually. So I'll see, after I put the bodice together, I'll see if I need to take it in more, and if I do, then I'll put 2 more darts. Okay, so I'm really glad that I decided to put on my Regency short stays and test out the fit before I made any alterations. Actually, I don't really need to alter the pattern actually, except by just taking in the back a little bit more. And then, of course, this will be turned in with the zipper. So I purposely left extra in the back, but one alteration that I do have to make for the stays is the stays really prop up your bust a lot. So I need to have the dart end at about this point, so it moves the darts way up, and the bodice is actually too long because it's supposed to go like right under the bust. So I think I have to like cut about that much off of them. I think I'll leave it though when I attach a skirt, that way if I do need to raise or lower it, the skirt after I pin it on and try it, then I still have this left that I can move it down if I need to, but I think I need to take off about that much for that empire waistline of just hitting under the bust. But yeah, so I'm going to fix the darts, and then those should be good. So I just sewed the lining together. I used the same blue fabric that I used for the outside as for the inside. And what I'm going to do is just fold the edges in, and then I will clip those in place with some clips. So turn this in, and we turn this in. And I'll just clippy clippy. And I'm just going to do this all along the neckline at the moment. Make sure any loose threads are just tucked away so they won't be seen. And it'll be finished on the edges cleanly. Alright, the bodice of the dress is now assembled. I hand stitched the lining in so that it is attached and finished cleanly on the inside. So it looks like this on the outside, and on the inside you can see how I sewed it. This is the back edge, and yeah, that's what it looks like so far. Now I'm going to move on to the skirt. I now have the skirt panel cut out. I just cut it as one big panel, but of course with both layers of the embroidered mesh and the silky blue fabric. So it's cut out, and now it's time to position and pleat the skirt panel to the bodice. This skirt is now pinned in place, and oh my goodness, I haven't sewed it together, but this is so pretty. I'm so excited to try this on and try it out. It's gonna be so pretty. Okay, so I did completely sew the skirt on to the bodice, but then I kind of put it on, and I didn't like how the pleats looked, so I'm actually going to gather it instead. So I'm going to have to gather the top of the skirt panel and then reattach it to the bodice, and hopefully I'll like the gathered look better. I just hemmed the dress, so the dress is basically done. I just need to make some sleeves. I personally don't like short sleeves on my body, so I will be making them elbow length sleeves, elbow length puff sleeves, rather than the really short ones, because I just feel like they look really weird on me. So I will be making that change to it. But there's still like, there are historical, what do you call them? Fashion plates of like elbow length sleeves. So it's not completely out of, you know, the blue to change it up that way, even though they had a lot of sleeveless dresses and they liked making a lot of the costumes short puff sleeves. But I like longer puff sleeves, so I will try to make them about to the crook of my arm. So that is one change I will be making. Tomorrow I'll go to the store and get a pink satin ribbon to go around the underbust, and I might do some beading, and I did cut out flower appliques from fabric that I cut away from the bottom hem, so I might add more flowers in the blank spots. So we'll see what I end up doing, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. Alright, it is now Wednesday, so what I'm going to do now is cut pieces of elastic for the end part of the sleeve, and I'm just going to have it gather to fit my arm so it's a puffed sleeve, and then I will cut a piece of pink satin ribbon for the underbust band, and my dress will be finished. I already hemmed both the bottom of the lace part of the dress and then separately the like satiny layer. So it also has a zipper and then a hook at the top to keep it closed. So I'm almost done. I'm going to go ahead and do the elastic and the satin waistband. Okay, so I had bought these little pink flower ribbon flowers for this dress. They look like this before they're sewn on. But then I looked in my other supplies that I had, and I have these little flowers, and then I also have little pink bows, and I sewed one of these on, and I actually really like it, so I think I'm going to use all of these on the front of the bodice as well. I've sewn a bunch of these, and there's like a lot of embellishment and stuff on Penelope's dresses that I was looking at, so you know what, I think it's fine to just do a bunch on it. It adds a little bit more of a dimension, and I like that these have like, these ones have a little bit of green in it and like 3 different colored pinks, and then this is just like a brighter pink to kind of add a little bit more of a pop. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm sewing all of these little embellishments on, and after I do the flowers, then I'll add beads.